Oh my gosh, this audio, I had my mic mute. Oh my goodness. Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Morning aMEOWncements on the Nightcat with Nightcat YouTube channel. I am your host, Nightcat. This is the kitsch-minded morning show where we get you ready for the day, and we've got an awesome show coming up for you. We're going to get into the Morning Mews. We're going to tell you all the pop culture headlines, including who they snuffed at the In Memoriam at the Oscars last night, and I am not happy about it. Then we're going to hop into the Book of Unusual Knowledge. I'm going to tell you some random facts about your gross body, because human bodies are disgusting. But before we get into any of that, I have to tell you what happened to me this weekend. So you guys know Veronica, my roommate. I've lived with Veronica forever. I've known her over half my life. We met the very first day of high school at Da Vinci Academy. I've known her forever. And we've lived together now for almost 2 years. So here's the thing. Yesterday, I'm playing video games and we're talking about going to brunch. And we're like waiting on friends to see if maybe they're gonna go to brunch too, and we're not getting any answer back. And I was like, oh yeah, should we wait for an answer or should we just go? And Veronica says, well, I figured we'd sit and wait for him. I mean, you're still in your jammies. I'm sorry? She goes, yeah, you're still in your jammies. I was wearing black denim jeans with a sweater, my Jurassic Park sweater that I wear on camera, by the way. So it's at least nice enough in my wardrobe to end up on camera all the time. But that was not good enough, apparently, to go to lunch with her. And she felt bad, I have to say. She felt bad. She didn't realize that, like, I was wearing jeans. She thought they were sweats. And I was wearing my Crocs, which are my house shoes. And I was still in my house. But she thought I was wearing my pajamas. And I was like, oh no, let me go get dressed for Veronica. Let me go make it so nice. So I went upstairs and I got myself a tie, a button-up shirt. I put on my nicest cardigan. And then I put on the nicest thing that I own. And she wouldn't let me wear it to the restaurant. Let me just show you here. This is my sash from the time I won an award for being a local hero. And I've kept it for years, and I've never had a chance to wear it anywhere before. But I thought, well, since I'm getting all dressed up for brunch, maybe I'll wear my local hero sash. So I came downstairs, and she's like, you're not wearing that. I go, yes, I am. Apparently, what I was wearing wasn't good enough for you. And she goes, I'm not going to be seen in public with you wearing that. So I tell her, Veronica, first, I'm not dressed up enough, and now I'm too dressed up. What is it? I can't make you happy. What do I have to do? So since she wouldn't let me wear my local hero sash to brunch yesterday, I'm going to go ahead and wear my local hero sash on Morning aMEOWncements all day. I will get some use out of this local hero sash. Gosh dang it. All right. I think it's time then for us to get into the Morning Mews. The Morning Mews is the part of the show. Can you guys hear me now, by the way? I see that people told me they couldn't hear me when I had the mic muted, but I haven't seen any updates. I assume everyone can because I'm not seeing more. Good morning, Lindy. Good morning, Nathan. Good to see you in here. Morning Mews is the part of the show where we dig through the top pop culture headlines. I get you all caught up so you got stuff to talk about when you get to work and school today. And I want to get started in Nebraska, which is never a place that I thought I'd want to get started because, ugh. But something really cool happened in Nebraska over the weekend. The 2021 Josh fight. So if you haven't seen anything about the Josh fight, it's hilarious. Basically, it's kind of like Area 51, the Storm Area 51 event, where someone created an event online and then like everyone expected everyone to show up to Area 51 and try to storm it. And then 1,000 people showed up and that was it, and it was kind of lame. Including me. I was one of those lamos. So that's what everyone expected the Josh fight to be. It started in April of last year. A guy by the name of Josh Swain in Arizona was trying to get a username Josh Swain on social media. But he couldn't get any Josh Swain anything on Twitter or Instagram or anything else because there were already so many Josh Swains. So he got onto Facebook and he found every Josh Swain he could and he messaged like 20 Josh Swains. And he goes, all right, here are the coordinates. And he gave him some Nebraska coordinates. We're all going to meet up here. You've got 1 year to train from this date, April 24th. Whoever wins the battle gets to keep the name Josh. And it was obviously a joke. Well, then it went viral on Twitter, and it went viral on Reddit. And once Reddit gets its hands on something, it's all over. So they actually planned, all of these other people named Josh got together like, yeah, we're sick of all these guys named Josh too. And they decided that they were going to have a big pool noodle battle in the field in Nebraska. So over 1,000 people showed up, at least 50 Joshes, but there were 50 people, or there were at least 1,000 people there. They all show up to this field in Nebraska, and they all got pool noodles, and they all battle it out. So it started with the Josh Swains. There were the main Josh Swain, the first one that started everything, and another Josh Swain who claimed ownership, did rock, paper, scissors to see who kept the name Josh Swain. And then a noodle battle of only people named Josh started. And then after that ended, a whole battle with anybody who showed up got to get in on the noodle battle. The best part is, they let a little kid win. They nicknamed him Little Josh, and Little Josh, who is 4 years old, won the Josh fight. So they put a little paper Burger King crown on his head, and they gave him like a plastic wrestler's belt, and they hoisted him up, and it was like the best day of his life. I think the best part about the Josh fight is that they ended up raising a ton of money for charity. They raised over $11,000 for a children's hospital, which, by the way, Little Josh had gone to that children's hospital a number of times because he suffers from seizures. So it was really cool that that's how, that was the charity that and all the money ended up going to. They also raised over 200 pounds of food for the local food bank. So it's just fun, man. I love when the internet gets together and is awesome, because normally the internet gets together and we have like race riots and stuff. So, this is like the best the internet has to offer. Look how happy that kid is. That kid's never gonna forget that day. I love it. So cute. All right, the Oscars were last night, and I know no one knows that because why would you, and who cares? But the Oscars always plays their In Memoriam, and they show clips and videos and pictures of anybody who is in like the Academy who passed away that year. Anybody who's like an Oscar nom, a movie star, pop culture, they always put them in the In Memoriam reel. Well, there were 3 people very noticeably missing from last night's Oscar In Memoriam reel. 3 stars that we lost last year that didn't end up in it. The first one, and the one that I think I'm the most upset about, is Arrested Development Archer star Jessica Walter. That mean old lady is one of my favorite people ever. She is hands down one of my favorite actors. She died recently, passed away in her sleep, according to her daughter. Very sad. But she was actually an Oscar-nominated actress in 1971. So she has been part of the Academy since the dawn of time. And they didn't put her in the In Memoriam. Disgusting. Boo, Oscars. The next one they snuffed was Naya Rivera, Glee star Naya Rivera. Now, she was mostly a TV star, but she was in some movies, so I feel like she should be there, and especially considering the tragic circumstances surrounding her death and how sad it was and how it really did just sort of shake Hollywood. You'd think that they would have given Naya Rivera a little bit of screen time. No, they couldn't be bothered. No, sir. And finally, we have Adam Schlesinger, who is from the band Fountains of Wayne. They're most famous for Stacy's mom. He was actually nominated for an Oscar back when That Thing You Do was in the Oscar run because he wrote the music for it. He also wrote a ton of the music. No, I won't say all of it, but he did the majority of the music for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, which is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. He was Oscar nominated for That Thing You Do, so he should be in there. Nope. He died of COVID last year, which was really, really sad. So Jessica Walter, Naya Rivera, Adam Schlesinger, apparently not important enough for the Oscars to acknowledge, which is fine, because guess what? The Oscars aren't important enough for anyone else to acknowledge either. Apparently it was really lame last night. I didn't watch any of it, but everything that I read made me feel like I didn't even want to watch the clips because it was really bad. All right, James Corden. I love James Corden. My dream has always been to go over to the UK and become the UK's version of James Corden. Since he came over here and took all my jobs, I'm going to go over there and take his job. Well, he was on the beach with his wife. He doesn't get a lot of vacations, obviously, so he was just relaxing on the beach with his wife. And he notices out by the rocks, there is a paparazzi there snagging pictures. And he's like, well, I really don't want them taking pictures of me shirtless. Like, I don't even like looking in the mirror shirtless. I really don't want pictures circulating of me shirtless. So, which is a bummer. Like, that's sad. He's at the beach. He should be able to be, like, at least as naked as everyone else there. But he decides to put his shirt back on. So he puts his shirt back on. He notices that the paparazzi is still there. And he's just getting really annoyed. And he's like, finally, I got up and I decided to do something about it. Because I'm just like, I don't get a lot of time. I just want to come out here and enjoy this time with my wife. So he walks up to the guy and he's like, yo, dude, I think you got your photo. And the guy looks at him so confused, like, what are you talking about? And James Corden's like, come on, man. You know what I'm talking about. You got your photo. Get out of here. And he goes, I'm photographing Leonardo DiCaprio? The guy didn't even know who James Corden was. He was literally standing by a rock taking pictures of Leonardo DiCaprio, who was eating in a restaurant behind James Corden. So James Corden's like, ooh. And honestly, it reminded me of this time right when I got off of Biggest Loser. I was getting stopped a lot on the street and people were asking for pictures. So I was at Comic-Con. And I had been getting, people asked me for pictures because they wanted pictures of me. I was in a Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy outfit with my buddy Avery. People were asking for pictures of us in our costumes. And I just assumed that when this young girl walked up to me, she walks up, she goes, hi, can I get a picture? I assumed she wanted a picture with me. I was like, oh yeah, sure. So I put my arm around her and I was like looking for the camera and she like backs away from me like I'm a creep. And she goes, no, I meant, can you get a picture of us? It was so embarrassing. Literally, I thought she was trying to get a picture with me, and I was such a creep about it. So now I just assume nobody wants a picture with me. I make them ask first, because I'm not getting treated like a fool again, buddy. No, sir, that's not happening. Anyway, James Corden was a little bit embarrassed about that, but I think he'll survive. And finally, a Texas woman was trying to change her name. I think she got married recently, so she was trying to legally change her name. And she was notified at the Name Change Bureau, whatever that is, Social Security maybe, I have no idea, that she was wanted on a felony warrant in Oklahoma. She's like, I haven't been in Oklahoma for years. What could I possibly have a warrant out for that I don't know about? And especially a felony? So they give her the number to call. She calls them. She did not return a videotape over 20 years ago. So I guess the story goes that she was staying with this guy, she was living with this guy, and he had 3 daughters, and so they were all just renting movies on the same account at this small local video store in Oklahoma. So he went out and rented a copy of Sabrina the Teenage Witch for his daughters to watch, but I guess he never returned it. Well, the video store charged her with felony, I think it was theft of property. No, it was felony embezzlement. Felony embezzlement of rented property. Felony. For what? A $20 videotape? Like, that's the most you could have possibly paid for that videotape back in the day. And they wanted her for felony embezzlement. So she's like, are you kidding me? And they were like, yeah, no, you're gonna, if you come into Oklahoma and we find you, you're gonna get prison sentence and a fine. So now she has to hire a lawyer to get her criminal record expunged in Oklahoma because Sabrina the Teenage Witch didn't get returned 20 years ago. By the way, the video store has been closed since 2008. And maybe they closed because they couldn't make it by because they didn't have that copy of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Sabrina the Teenage Witch would have turned it all around for that little video store. Ridiculous. And that is the Morning Mews. All right, let's check in with the chat, see what's going on, everybody. Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Katie, Sadie, Erica, Dark Prince Zizor. By the way, I saw Katie and Zizor at our butterfly party. Thank you for coming. We did release the butterflies, all but one. She has weird crumply wings, and I thought she was probably just waiting for them to straighten out and dry out. But she's had weird crumply wings since Saturday morning when she hatched, and I think she's just malformed. So I put her in a little box, and she's gonna grow up and, you know, hopefully she'll have a decent life for a little while. I got her a little grass patch and some flowers and stuff. I'm gonna go to the store and get her some bananas. Hopefully she'll like that. But unfortunately, she is one that we're just gonna keep as a pet because she was not ready to go fly in. But yeah, the butterfly party was so fun. We had such a blast. Katie brought her girls, and we got to like dip in and get the butterflies and let them fly off into the park. We had a ball. And then we fed ducks and just basically had a good time. Listened to some music. So good morning to Zizor and Katie. Good morning, Marissa, Nathan, Lindy. Good morning, dear. Katie. Let's see. Oh, what did I do to become a local hero? So I got this sash. I actually did get an award for being the local hero. It's an award that the Utah Pride Center gives out every year to LGBT activists here in town. And back in the day, I've really settled down. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you might not think that, but I really have settled down. Back in the day, I was quite the little human rights activist. I was marching on Capitol Hill. I was yelling at the governor, sending emails, organizing rallies. Like, I was in it to win it, buddy. And because of all my activism work, they awarded me one year the Utah Hero Award. So I'm a local hero. And don't you ever forget it! I do need to figure out more ways to use the sash, I think. I think the sash is good. Zizor, I don't know what movies came out. I know a lot of movies like came out on streaming platforms, and so a lot of those were considered, which normally they're not because you have to premiere in a theater for it to be considered for awards most of the time. But I think maybe they had changed that this year because, you know, everything was a mess. Katie, I like to believe that they did not take any photos of James Corden. I think they let James Corden realize, like, ugh. Zizor, I don't know if something has to be $500 to be considered a felony, but with late fees, I don't know if you remember video late fees, but they were compounding and they never stopped, usually. So, like, you'd get, like, a $2 fee, and then you'd get a $2 fee the next day, and you just basically get a $2 fee every day until, you know, usually they send you a bill for, like, $30 or whatever the tape was. But maybe they didn't do that, and they just kept adding fees. I don't know. Oh, Sadie, I'm sad you missed the butterfly party, but we still had so much fun. We'll do something soon again. I'm planning on doing like some sort of listener or listener. I've been on the radio for so long that I call like viewers on YouTube listeners. I'm thinking about having a viewer like YouTube appreciation barbecue or something at the park sometime. So look forward to that. That'll be fun. All right. Well, then I think it's time for us to get into the book of unusual knowledge. The book of unusual knowledge is just a bathroom reader. It contains a bunch of fun facts, and today I found a list of amazing facts about the human body that I thought would be fun to share with you, including the longest cells. So your cells in the human body are the motor neurons. So like, you know, the cells that, you know, what helps you move. They can be up to 4.5 feet long, and they run from your lower spinal cord all the way down to your big toe. One cell, one 4-foot long single cell. Isn't that bonkers? Oh, bananas. The human eye blinks an average of 3.7 million times a year. Unless, of course, you're a cult leader, in which case you never blink. You're just like... Every now and then you point. That's how cult leaders be. Let's see. 15 million blood... This is crazy. Every second in your body, it makes 15 million blood cells. It also destroys 15 million blood cells. It creates and destroys 15 million blood cells every second. The human body's so crazy. Blood also makes me just like queasy. Even thinking about blood makes my wrists really weak, and I'm like, I hate it. I hate it. The human body has enough fat in it to produce 7 bars of soap. So, you know, they use animal fat sometimes in soaps. You can use human fat and make 7 bars. But here's the thing. I think I could get like 9 or 10 bars. I think I'm a little above the average person. So if you're looking to make soap out of anyone, I'm your girl. And finally, the pupil. Okay, I want you to do this. This is a good experiment. Go to your spouse or your significant other. Look them dead in the eyes. Have them close their eyes and then open their eyes. And see how big their pupils get. Because the pupil of the eye expands as much as 45% when a person is looking at something pleasing. So if they're just looking at the back of their eyelids and they open it up and their pupils don't get really big as soon as they see you, they must not love you. And that is the book of unusual knowledge. All right. I think we got to thank a couple of people because, you know, my patrons are just the number one. They take such great care of me. Patreon.com/NightCatShow. This is an awesome service where you can help support your favorite artists. All I ask for is $3 or $5 a month. It comes out right around the first of the month every month. And this is how we keep the show going. This is how I'm sort of kind of scraping by for right now until I can find a job or make this work full-time, whatever comes first, apparently. Because apparently creating a YouTube channel and making money off of it is easier than finding a decent job right now. It's such a joke. But Patreon is the way that I'm doing all of it, and I'm just so thankful to all of my patrons for all their generosity and being so sweet. And part of what you get when you become a Nightcat patron is a shout out on the show. So I got a couple of shout outs. The first one is Christine Canfield. Christine is a new patron. Welcome, Christine. We're so excited to have you. And then we also had Olivia Goodman. Olivia has been a longtime patron. Pretty much as soon as the patron dropped, Olivia joined. But she recently edited her pledge and raised it quite considerably. So, Olivia, that was so generous. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to join the ranks with Christine, Olivia, and all of the other patrons, patreon.com/nightcatshow. That's my bad. Go check it out. It really is so nice. Oh, and another real quick thing that I wanted to talk about. Since we talked about our butterfly party, we did go release the butterflies, and something we also did was we fed the ducks. I just have like a ton of duck food, but I talked about this on Friday too, and since we're talking about it, I figure I wanted to tell you one more time. If you're gonna go feed the ducks at the park, feeding them bread is really bad for them. They're not supposed to eat bread. And I know it's so easy to like go down to the store and buy a $1 loaf of bread and then just all day long you have stuff to do. But this is really healthy. So there are a couple of things. Number one, you can just get some frozen peas and corn and then just sort of thaw them out in some water and throw that for them out at the pond. They love veggies. So peas, corn, lettuce, that sort of thing, you can throw to them and they'll eat. I went to the farm store, and you can also buy this online, and got literally, it's Purina brand duck food. I cut out the bag and taped it here. That way people aren't confused anymore about what I'm throwing at the ducks. But it's little duck pellets, and I have little cups in there. That way if I run into anybody like feeding ducks, or they want to feed ducks, I have little cups I can give them. It's great. I would recommend just run down to the farm store, spend $20 if you have it on a bag of duck food if you're going to be feeding ducks this summer, just because it's way better for them, and it's way better for the other critters that live there as well. Bread's not so good for ducks. It's very bad for their tummies. So if you can give them some duck food, that would be great. All right, let's see. Oh, true crime tours. Our true crime walking tours. I know it's crazy, but they start this week. There are still a few spots left on the Thursday night shows. So if you'd like to go, check out the link tree in the description of this video. The link tree, it's linktr.ee/JacksonWitt. It's like the second line in the description of the video. Click on that. It will take you to where you can get your tickets. We are running out of space though. It's going to be Thursday and Friday of this week and Thursday and Friday of next week. I'm going to walk you to a few different true crime locations in downtown Salt Lake. I'm going to tell you all about the horrifying things that happen there. We're also going to stop at a few bars. We're going to grab some drinks. If you don't drink, we're going to grab some sodas. If there's food, and we're going to have just really so much fun. We're going to have a great time. I cannot wait for it. True Crime Walking Tours. Get your tickets now if you haven't already. All right, let's see here. Okay, well, I think that's it for me. I'm going to turn it over to the fish. Hey, I hope you have a great day. Have a great day at work or school or home or whatever it is. Actually, no, we decided we weren't doing that. Last time I decided that I think you should have the day that you deserve. So if you deserve to have a great day, I do in fact hope that you have a great day. But if you don't, I hope it's bad for you, so you learn your lesson. All right, I'm going to turn it over to the fish for 3 minutes of fish. That's it for me. Bye, bye, bye.